And this... yeah, I messed that up. Hold on. Trail Talk, Episode 2. Way to Maine.
Alright guys, we are riding from Hot Springs, North Carolina into Maine, 17-hour venture. And we thought that we would talk about the thought process of hiking from day 1 to day now 31. Yeah, day 30. So, what do you think, Kurt? First day?
I think it's an interesting subject. I think first day, you're pretty excited. You're like, oh, I'm going to do the whole trail in like a month. I'm going to sprint the whole way.
Like 20-mile days.
My feet feel good. Everything's going great.
Feet felt great on the first day, no shit.
My backpack doesn't feel all wet. It's my heels feel good. And day 30 was rain on the tent.
Rain on the tent, rain in your shoes.
Yeah, rain in your
bag.
bag.
Making you think that you need your rain jacket, and then you don't.
Absolute exhaustion.
You don't actually need your rain jacket because it's not actually going to rain, but you think it's going to rain.
It's going to rain more inside of your rain jacket because it's so fucking hot in there.
Or maybe day 1 thinking that like, oh, I'm going to use everything in my bag, and then I've put on my rain jacket twice because the amount of sweat compared to the amount of rain is actually...
More sweat than rain.
It's ridiculous. No, it's absolutely ridiculous.
So like, what like day 30 mindset, like while you're walking, like versus day 1, like what's your like?
Well, I mean, I can give you a good example. Like, so day 1, you're climbing up that hill and you're excited. You're like, man, this sucks, but I'm so excited. This is great. And day 30, I mean, you're like, fuck, all the way up this hill because it sucks. But then you get to the top and there's a view, and it's totally worth it, or something of that nature. But yeah, like
I think the rewards of hiking become greater as you get farther into it. Like hiking up the Max Patch in North Carolina, I felt like I was about to die the whole time. I didn't want to go on. I wanted to drop, set up camp, and just sleep and smoke a cigarette. And hiking up the Max Patch was absolutely miserable. But you hike for that hour, 2 hours of sunset, with the boys. Over maybe first day, like, oh, I love being in the woods and hiking. It's, it becomes more of a chore, to hike 18 miles a day, and you enjoy it, but you definitely enjoy camp time much, much more.
So you're hiking more for the reward than for the hiking experience.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, hiking, you do so much hiking out here, and you do so little watching. Sometimes you get to camp, and there was a day, what was it, five days ago, I rolled into camp an hour before you guys. I didn't even eat dinner. I threw my bag up. I took my sleeping meds and passed out. Didn't even get a look at the campsite around me. Didn't meet the people. And sometimes hiking will do that to you. First day, at Hawk Mountain Shelter, I was super stoked to talk to everyone and really excited to set up my new tent. And now when I get to camp, I'm like, oh man, do I have enough energy to talk to these people? And am I even gonna sleep in my tent tonight, or should I just cowboy camp it and like hope to pray, hope to God there's no rain
or spiders?
Yeah, or thousands of spiders in the tent.
Yeah, spiders, bears. I don't know. It's like one of those things. You roll into camp and you're like so tired, and it goes back to what we were talking about earlier with the day hikers. Like you kind of ask everybody like, so where are you coming from? And if they're like, yeah, I just came from like 3 miles down the trail, and they look as tired as you, then you're just like, I'm going to bed.
I
was like, I don't know.
Shit, this guy's gonna stay up until 10:30.
Yeah,
playing music on his
fucking
little Bluetooth
noise.
fucking speaker.
Yeah, they're gonna get up to piss in the middle of the night. They're gonna turn their bright ass white light on, shine it at everybody, wake everybody up. They're gonna just throw shit around. Just
I don't know. I think when you're 30 days in, I mean, we'll be 60 days in next month, right? And I think the thought process will change again. However, things that used to bother you on day 1, day 2, day 3, no longer bother you. Whether it's like the scratchy sleeping mat, you're too tired to even hear the sleeping mat. You'd fall asleep. You're done. The smelly tent.
It smells like home.
Yeah, it smells like home. You're just glad to be in your tent and be able to set up your tent and not pass out before you do it.
Fall asleep on your tent poles.
Yeah, I think like the 4 or 5 mile days, you really get to enjoy and keep your head up and take it slow and really get to enjoy the woods. And those are cool days. But the opposite of that is hiking 20 miles a day, or 17 miles a day, whatever we did this week. You're not looking up much. You're like a lot of what you see is your feet. You look at your shoes a lot. So when you do get up to a place like Max Patch, and you're able to look up at the sky, look and actually see, how far you've come. Whether you can look at Fontana Dam 25 miles away and be like, oh, I was there last week, or sitting up at the top of a fire tower and saying, oh, we finished the Smokies and we were down there. Those are really cool moments, and that's really what I hike for now.
What goes through your head while you're hiking? I know sometimes you hike angrily, but like, do you think of anything, or is it just like feelings?
No. I think a lot of people don't know is when you hike, you're thinking about everything that could possibly go right, everything that could possibly go wrong. I mean, for me, I just create different scenarios of like what's going to happen for the day, and maybe what's going to happen for tomorrow, and maybe even next year. It gives you a lot of time to think, and there's also other times where it's so damn hot, and you don't want to think about anything, so you're pushing 4 miles an hour and just chugging water and trying to get to camp. So I do a lot of like introspective thinking, I guess, and a lot of funny thinking too. I think about how to make my trip better each day, which is kind of a fun thing to do, like kind of what we're doing now, leaving randomly to go summit Katahdin after 273 miles, hike southbound. I mean, that stuff's fun to think about, and when you're out here, you're able to do just about anything you want, if you put your head to it. So, yeah.
What's the weirdest thing you've thought about when you've been out?
Oh,
like while you're walking. Just
the weirdest. Remember,
strange, funny thoughts.
It's probably gonna go back to the bug thing after like seeing all the centipedes and crap. Like, yeah, everything at 5 Mountain was like just massacring on the way down the trail. And then this random thought was like, so if bugs could talk to you, yes, this is a thought. This is how it gets when you spend 16 hours in your head walking every day. Yeah, so you're sitting there thinking, it's like, would you feel differently about swatting that bee in your face if it was like, hey man, I just want to suck some of the sweat off your forehead, instead of, just dumb little,
maybe tickle the beard a little bit.
Yeah, really dumb thoughts like that. Yeah, like, dude, I just want to hang out, man. You're like, whack, smack it. It's like,
yeah, if insects could talk, would you still kill them?
Yeah, exactly. If they could talk, if they could plead with you, if they could be nice.
No, like, no, please, sorry, I won't.
Please. Yes, I won't. Yeah, would you still? Fawns would still just
Fawns would still kill him. I think fawns would start in like interspecies war, like insects versus humans.
I'm not really a big fan of the centipedes. That's just about it.
You kill pretty much every centipede you see, right?
If you can step on a centipede, you step on a centipede. That's like trail rule number 1 for me.
Why is that? Do you have a bad experience with centipedes?
Too many legs.
Too many legs?
Spiders and centipedes.
Okay. Well, if anyone has extra legs out there, look out. Fonz will crush you under his heel. Yeah, I don't know what I think. I think I just talk the whole time that I'm out there. You guys hear it. I talk to myself out loud. I talk to you guys out loud. And there's no internal thought process, so I don't really have that same problem.
Really?
Everything is outside of my head, vocal. Yeah.
I can see that.
I spend a lot of time just picking my life apart.
Yeah.
I really, you spend that much in your head as you're just walking. And you try to think of everything else except how badly your legs hurt. Yeah. Just like think about just about everything you've ever done in your life and whether it was the right move, wrong move. I mean, what? Yeah, who knows? Like,
Do you guys have like recurring thoughts that pop in your head that you're like, go away, stop it, I don't want to think about you anymore? Like, what's the thing that pops into your head the most? That you're like, fuck this thought.
The thing that pops into my head the most is that's so hard because there's so many freaking things that
Like the most annoying, like, or like
the most annoying thing that
you
pops.
do not want to think about, like, why, like, fucking burgers, and like, why do burgers keep popping into my head, or is it?
No, it might be food. It might be food. Yeah, food's definitely number one for me. Like, I like to eat a lot, but not by choice. I actually being vegan before the trail kind of ruined me. I like to eat very small portions and and not eat cheeseburgers and macaroni and, you know, chicken and potatoes. But the whole time I'm hiking, and if I get even just a little bit of hunger, you know, my mind drifts to Taco Bell or Wendy's or something disgusting for my body, and to me that's kind of irritating because it's like I don't want that, but I want it so bad, like all the time. You know, when I roll into camp, I'm looking at my food like, why isn't this a giant ball of meatloaf or something like that? You know, I don't know. It's pretty tough to think about food.
You also think food pops in your head more than anything?
yeah, absolutely. Especially like a barbecue chicken pizza from Papa John's.
Yeah.
I think about that almost every other step.
We've had barbecue chicken pizzas from like Mellow Mushroom,
But not Papa
but not from Papa John's.
Yeah, it's weird.
So we gotta satisfy that craving.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to though, because like in my head it's so scrumptious, but I think once I eat it, it's probably gonna be like, man, that was disappointing.
They just fireboard with barbecue sauce.
This is how I see it is when we're on the trail, someone will say the name of a restaurant or something, and someone will get instantly excited. It's like a drug or a trigger. It's like, beep. It's like, oh my god, barbecue chicken. Like someone will say Papa John's, and then immediately someone's brain's gonna go to barbecue chicken pizza from Papa John's, and then everyone looks at each other's like, I know what we're getting in Hiawassee, or I know what we're getting in Gatlinburg.
Like the hot wings for Hot Springs.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Kurt walking along old Songbird, and it was like, I hope they have good hot wings there. And then we started talking about how we were just gonna eat like tubs of blue cheese with these wings, and it turns out Hot Springs, the tavern there, has some of the most amazing hot wings ever, period. That's not just because we were hungry, they're just absolutely freaking delicious. They got some really good blue cheese too. So, that worked out. So we spent like 2 days walking along, just, I don't know, at least I did. My mouth was watering the whole time thinking of these hot wings, and they were actually quite delicious. And we didn't even know if there was any there.
We were hoping though. And I guess the last bit is, how do you think your mentality is going to change over time? Me, for example, I think that probably most people will become more zen and like get to a point where they walk and don't really think about anything but just experience everything, very like experiential Tao, whatever, and like reactive and like accepting of like, oh, now it's raining, like, oh, now we're going uphill, okay, now we're going downhill, just like, whoa, whatever, dude. I think that's probably a natural change, but
I think that comes along with like the physical ability, like when you're stressed out and your legs are burning, like at least for me, my mind's going everywhere, anywhere and everywhere, but to keep the focus on how much pain I'm in, or how heavy my pack is, or how bad my shoulders hurt from the last 35 miles. And I think the more as I've learned like how to drop pack weight, how to how to hike, hydrated and keep that, keep the hydration going, because that's like a big key as well to I don't know, foot placement. Don't run down hills, but briskly walk, to keep your knees. I think I'm able to actually look up a little bit more and enjoy where I'm at, because I'm not feeling my legs so much. So
skills and fitness let you open up your brain a little bit more to just being there.
I mean,
cool.
I look back to the first day, and I was hiking up to Hawk Mountain Shelter. I'm a trail runner. I like to do physical fitness and anything to keep my body moving. And it was about kicking my ass. It was, you know, every step was like, oh fuck, I have 2,000 more miles to go after this step, you know, and that's the only thing I'm thinking. And now it's like getting the shelter to, you know, shelter to shelter. It's difficult, but it's not so strenuous on my body anymore. And that lets me like actually like open up and just kind of enjoy where I'm at.
Yeah, you notice that like, you know, the first week or so, you crank out some big days the first couple of days, thinking that you're just gonna kill it, and then you realize you got to slow down, and so like 8-9 mile days become, you know, somewhat normal. And if you do anything more than that, you just get to camp absolutely miserable. Just legs hurt, knees hurt, your feet hurt. I mean, everything hurts. And then now, I mean, we just did 73 miles in 4.5 days, and it was tough. You know, it wasn't easy by any means, but mainly just because it was super hot. But I don't know, I don't hurt the way that I used to hurt. It's like it's one of those things that just, you know, it keeps going, and your body just keeps getting used to it.
All right, well, that's the mentality of a thru hiker and how it changes over time. And now I think we're going to wrap this section up, and we might start a section on food or a section on injuries. So we'll get back to you.
Born to be this way, and what could I say? Just living for today.
In a half